Hey folks, how's everybody doing? I believe this is going out on the Dave Sutliff-Atias for City Council page. We're just testing some stuff out, some of the technology, and I actually had to download the Facebook app to my phone, which is a huge sacrifice for me because I've been adamant about not doing that. So we're going to give this a shot. If you are catching this, feel free, throw in some comments. Down the road, we'll be doing video logs in ASL. We'll be exciting for that, but not right now because I don't have the technology set up yet because it looks bad. So let me give you a quick thing. In case you haven't heard, I am running for City Council. It is the quadrants this year, so it's not for the whole city. I'm in the East District, not in the Northeast, the Northwest, or the South. And which is, there's good and bad to that. If elected, I will be representing just a quarter of the city, but I get to vote on all of the stuff that comes through City Council. So what happens all over the city is important to me and will be in my campaign as well. The election is November 5th. I'm running as a Green. Coming to the end of February into March, I'll be getting petition signatures from Greens, and I'll be on the ballot in the Green Party line. I won't have to worry about the Democrats and their primary and all that jazz. And maybe sometime down the road we can talk about some campaign strategy and why I'm running as a Green and not as a Democrat. There hasn't been a non-Democrat on the Rochester City Council in 35 years. And our city government has been under control by one party for about at least 50 years. And so that's one of the reasons I'm running as a Green is it's time for some change and we need to do that. But shouldn't just get changed just for change's sake, right? So as the campaign goes through, if you haven't checked out the website already, or, well, if you're watching this, you know about the Facebook page. There's also Twitter and Instagram, all of the stuff that I've been working on as an activist for decades, and the stuff I'm trying to accomplish with this campaign will be posted on all the social media. There's also an email list, and some of you just started getting emails out of nowhere. The Board of Elections is allowed to get email addresses now. Some of you have given them to the BOE, and I've been using that. And I know most folks didn't ask for that, so I'm doing that as opposed to phone banking. So you won't be getting phone calls from my campaign anyway. And I just thought getting emails out of the blue would be better than phone calls. So we actually put some pretty cool stuff in them, as well as some useful things, if you live here in Rochester, not just about my campaign. So feel free to if you're not on the email list, feel free to sign up for it, which you can do very easily over at daveforchange.org. I'm really proud of the website, and it's an ongoing living thing, and it's just going to keep going as the campaign goes through November, and maybe even past that. If you guys elect me, I think I'm going to continue with that website to not only put news about what I'm doing in City Council, but about some resources that are around the city for all of us to use. So I hope that that's going to be a website, daveforchange.org, that we can all use in perpetuity, I guess, for as long as I'm able to keep it going. So let me give you a real quick rundown, because again, I'm testing this. I hope to be doing something Facebook Live-y every week, and we'll do a new topic and take questions and all that jazz, and we'll do some Facebook events, invite people to come on. So and each video will get posted on YouTube as well, so that folks can watch it in other mediums as well. So I am born and raised in Rochester with a slight little break in there. I spent some of my middle school years in Albion, New York, which happened when my mother was a corrections officer at Albion Prison, which actually has influenced my take on prisons and jails and the police. And if you take a look at some of the stuff that I've been posting, you can see that I've been working with the Police Accountability Board Alliance. I do feel that we need some changes in that area, but you can read about that at the website, and that's for another time. Right now, I'm giving you a quick rundown of my life story. So I was born and raised in Rochester. I graduated from Franklin High School, go Quakers, in 1984. I kind of bounced around college a little bit. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I started off at American University down in Washington, and I was thinking of pre-law, and played a little baseball down there, and then went to Syracuse University for a year and a half, and finally settled in back home, going to school at SUNY Brockport, where I got my undergrad in history and my master's in education. And while I was doing that, started working at Hillside Children's Center, which has also colored a lot of how I see the world and how I think some of the things that need to change, and especially in terms of how we treat people, and we'll get into that down the road. So I am a certified teacher in social studies 7 through 12, as well as students with disabilities, formerly known as special education. And I'm currently teaching high school equivalency at the Ontario County Jail, and that's been quite the path to get to there. And I don't feel that that's where I'll be finishing my career. But again, more on that down the road. I'm hoping to have some news on that in the upcoming months. I have an exciting thing that I've been working on with some other folks that I hope to be able to talk about sometime really soon. So what else? I have been, I should talk about my family. So I'm actually broadcasting this from the upstairs, the attic office here at our house on Kansas Street, is where I live with my wife, Ivora, and my stepdaughter, Julia. Both are the loves of my life, along with two exceptionally eccentric cats, Getty and Artemis. And who knows, I would not be surprised if they make some cameos on some of these as well, as it's hard to keep them at bay. I do have family here in town still. Just about all of my family started out here, and while some of them have spread over the country, a lot are still here, and hopefully you'll be able to maybe get a chance to see some of them as well as time goes on. So this is short, this is quick. I'm going to wrap this up. Again, I'm testing the technology. I'm going to take a look at this video myself, see if it's worthwhile, see what I need to change. Hopefully we'll keep it. I didn't get any comments. I did see there was at least one person watching live anyway. If we keep that, hi Renee, hi. And we will keep that if it turned out okay. If not, we'll make some adjustments and just keep trying until we get it right. And we're going to be back probably with another video next Sunday. Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday. We'll do it before the game. Don't worry, you'll get all your commercials in. And I think I'll want to talk about the Police Accountability Board, maybe a little bit. What you should do, my last thing, there are two things that are happening this week that you should get involved in, if you can. So today's Sunday. Monday, the 28th, there's two things happening. One, it's the deadline to participate in the participatory budgeting project that the Rochester Monroe Anti-Poverty Initiative is doing. Now, I have some issues with those guys at RMAPI, but this project is actually really cool. At my website, dayforchange.org, I put it on Facebook, and you can find it from other spots. There's a place where you can go to vote on the up to 5 projects that they're willing to fund. That's kind of what participatory budgeting is. And you can vote for them, and some really cool things, some land grant stuff, and there's some really just amazing projects that you can help fund. Go vote for that, dayforchange.org. It's right on the front page for the link to that. And then secondly, the Police Accountability Board Alliance is getting people to go to city council forums that are happening on legislature that city council has proposed on a new police accountability board. There is a write-up on that, again, at dayforchange.org, about the PAB and where that is. But there's 2 forums happening this coming week. Monday at the Danforth Recreation Center, 200 West Avenue, and that goes from 5:30 to 7. And then the same time on Thursday at the City Hall atrium, not the chambers on the 3rd floor, but the atrium on the 2nd floor. And that's, again, happening from 5:30 to 7. And it's so City Council can hear your feedback on the Police Accountability Board legislation that they've proposed. And look, I got to be honest with you, even if you don't know much about it, showing up and listening and learning about it and maybe asking questions will help make sure that we get this legislation really right. It's actually pretty good. And I know that if you've known my history of activism, I like to complain a lot, but this is really good. And there's a couple loopholes that we need to close up, or else it'll make it totally ineffective. But overall, it's really, really good. So if you get a chance to show up Monday or Thursday, that's cool. And if you go to, again, my website, dayforchange.org, there is an email address where you can just email City Council too if you can't make it to those forums. So, and there's write-up and links to what the legislation is at my website as well. Okay, now I'm really going. We'll be back next Sunday, probably around this time before the Super Bowl. And so you can get a little bit of your community activism in before you watch bad commercials and sports ball. Okay, thanks a lot. Dayforchange.org. Sign up for the email list. I can do this all day. And take care. We'll talk to you soon.